Bears Now coming at you here on the channel. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. On today's show, we're going to take your questions. So use hashtag Bears or Super Chat on today's mailbag. If you Super Chat, best chance to get on the show, but also we'll get to a few hashtag Bears questions as well. Shout out Wasim Khan with the $50 Super Chat. He says, take Paris Johnson Jr., and do you think Siaki Ika will be available in the third round? I think the third round sounds right. Now, the Bears have the first pick of the third round, number 64 overall. Is that a tick early? Maybe some mocks have him going round 2. I would probably wait till the third personally, because I think you need more pass rushing defensive linemen. But Ika's a good player, and he could be a long-time one-tech defensive tackle for this team. Ron Winarski with the 50 as well. What do you think about the Bears free agency? I like the moves. I think the Edmonds and Edwards pairing at linebacker is going to really make this linebacker group solid. I like some of the value signings. I like P.J. Walker as a backup quarterback. I love Robert Tonyan, and Deontay Foreman is extra weapons on offense. So I like what this team has done. Nate Davis is going to help this offensive line. You get DeMarcus Walker. Now it's about more moves for Ryan Poles. Munchin on you with a 10. Who gets the most yards next season? DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, or Chase Claypool? I think it's CJ Moore. You brought him in here to be your number one. I think the better question is Mooney or Claypool, who establishes themselves as that number 2 guy? I think Mooney has the edge because he's got that chemistry already with Justin Fields, but Claypool has a full offseason to become that guy as well. So excited to see it play out, but I think Mooney, I would go in that order right now in terms of production at receiver if I had to guess. Christian Sitsanas, is it me or does Ryan Poles seem cheap? I mean, a lot of small contracts except for Edmonds, passed on a couple of offensive tackle and defensive linemen that were not paid a ton, and we could have used no extensions for Komet or Johnson. Well, first of all, extensions could still happen. They're under contract, so that doesn't mean that's not going to happen. I personally am glad they didn't give Mike McGlinchey $17.5 million per year. Now, I've said it. I think Mike McGlinchey, 3 years, $34.5 million, I probably would have paid that. I might have gone 3 years, $35, 3 years, $40 million to secure him at right tackle, but they may love someone in this draft. And they said, you know what, we're gonna focus on that. I wouldn't say cheap. I would say value. I mean, he gave Tremaine Edmonds $18 million a year. He's willing to spend money for the right player. He's just not going to force it for a guy he doesn't think is worth it. And I think that's good. I don't think you should throw out reckless contracts when you're a rebuilding team. You got to be patient, pick the spots that you like, and then continue to build from there. From Justin Fields Truther, I love it. Predict Justin Fields stats in 2023. Obviously, what we all hope is that the passing efficiency and volume goes up. Can you get the completion percentage to the mid-60s? Obviously, he jumped above 60 last year. That was a good improvement. Let's get that to 63, 64 plus. Get the passing yards into, at least low mid-3,000s. We know he's going to be able to scramble. Ideally, he doesn't run for 1,100 yards, though. I think like an ideal split is like throw for somewhere between 35 and 4,000 yards and run for like 800. Like if he does that, you're talking about a massive leap. Like a massive leap for Justin Fields. So I would love to see him be in the mid-3,000s passing, 700 to 800 rushing, and then 20-plus passing touchdowns. I'd say, around 23 to 25, and then, similar rushing TDs. Like if he could have 30 total touchdowns compared to 25 this year and add, 800 more all-purpose yards, I think that would be a giant leap for Justin Fields. Predict Justin Fields stats in 2023. I kind of threw some numbers out there. Let me know what you guys think his stat line could be. You can throw in total, yards, passing, rushing, touchdowns, whatever you feel like dropping in there. Predict his stats down in the comments. John Dorman with another 50. Shout out, John. He says, I think we should be out on Carter. He doesn't fit the mold. I get he has gone through a lot lately, but he doesn't seem to fit the mold of loving ball. Yeah, listen, if you don't love ball, you probably can't be a Bear. I mean, that's just the reality. Poles and Eberflus they're on the record for saying we want guys that love to play football. And if they have any hesitation at all about Jalen Carter in that regard, they won't draft him. I really don't think so. So they're going to bring him in for a draft visit. We'll get to know the kid better, and they'll make a decision as to whether or not he's draftable for them. So we'll see how that top 30 visit goes. Today's show is sponsored by Athletic Greens. Something that's going to help you feel better on a daily basis is Athletic Greens. athleticgreens.com/chatsports. I started taking AG1 a few months back, and I've never felt better. Got me through the end of football season. My energy level has been very high since the start of free agency, and that's all thanks to Athletic Greens. Not only is AG1 getting me back into good habits, I'm seeing better digestion as well. Improving my gut health is something that I've tried to prioritize in 2023, and AG1 is helping me do that with the simple scoop every day. Covering my nutritional basis for the day literally could not be easier, which is why I trust Athletic Greens. I just mix one small scoop of AG1 with water and shake it up, drink it first thing in the morning, just like you just saw, shaking it up on screen there. That easy. I also like that it costs less than $3 per day. Very cost efficient if you ask me. It's a really effective daily habit with the highest quality sourced ingredients, a true win-win. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. So go to athleticgreens.com/chatsports. That is athleticgreens.com/chatsports. Check the link in the comments and in the description. Promote your gut health, support your immunity, and increase your energy level. It's athleticgreens.com/chatsports. All right, keep it rolling here. Daily basis, what was your favorite Bears game last year? Why was it Monday Night Football against the Patriots? Also, cornerback is a premium position, so would you be upset if we drafted one at 9? I wouldn't be upset, especially if it's a clear best player available situation, because you still just have to build the overall roster. But if you're going to take a corner at 9, you better hit, because you have bigger needs right now. So that's what I would say. Yeah, I mean, in terms of the most fun win last year, I would say either week 1 in the monsoon against the 49ers that they won, or that Monday night game against the Patriots that held off Bill Belichick from passing George Halas and Wentz for at least one more week. So that was a fun game as well. And that was also producer Rolly's favorite game of the year last year. So be sure to DM him on social media at Nick_Roloff. Sangray Kim, Boston's going to prove to be a bust. #draft Caleb. Sangray, I know you've never been a Fields guy, but you know what? I really hope that a year from now you're eating crow. And if you're not, hey, kudos to you. But I have a feeling you will be. Time will tell. Daryl Gibson, do you think teams will be forced to play zone to contain Fields? That's why JSN would be a great pick for Fields. Agree. Yeah, I mean, if you play a lot of man and run a lot of downfield concepts, then if he breaks contain, he can just take off. So, we'll see. Obviously, playing man against DJ Moore, Darnell, Mooney, and Chase Claypool is going to be a challenging concept for other teams. So, I don't think teams are going to change their principles necessarily. But, yeah, I think playing man against this wide receiver room all of a sudden could lead to some problems for other teams. Colson Laporta, how many defensive linemen do we need and how many O-linemen do we need? Can we go to a playoff contender this year? What do you mean by playoff contender? Like a team competing for a playoff spot or a team that could do damage in the playoffs? Because I think this team could compete for a playoff spot and even sneak in. Do I think this team could make such a leap that they're going to win 12, 13 games and be a team that can make the NFC Championship game? That feels like a stretch. The only reason I wouldn't completely rule it out is the NFC is wide open. I mean, it really is. I mean, the defending NFC champs, Philadelphia Eagles, have lost a ton of players in free agency. I don't know who the favorite to win the NFC is right now. Maybe still Philly? Is it Dallas? San Francisco? We don't know who's going to play quarterback. So I think this team can for sure fight for a playoff spot. Do damage in the playoffs? I got to see a lot more for that to be the case. Subscribe to Bears Now. If you want more mailbags like this one, we got you covered. We also hit you on the latest Chicago Bears news and rumors, live streams, and much more. So hit that sub button and stay in the know on the Bears. Andre Carter or Keanu Benton? I assume you mean in the second round, third round somewhere. Both are good. Both have flaws. I think Carter's ceiling is higher, but he was better in 2021 than he was in 2022. Benton, I think, is an intriguing 3-tech option that could potentially start as a rookie. So, I don't know. It depends what the Bears do at defensive line between now and the draft, to be honest. Young King Music, how will we stack up in the North? It's hard to answer that question today. As weird as it sounds, I would actually make the Lions the favorites right now. And then I think 2 through 4 could go in any way. I do think the Packers could hit a real reality check if Jordan Love isn't the guy. If he's not good, then I think they bring up the rear. I really do. If he is decent enough, then they still have a talented enough roster. They could be a wild card team. I think Minnesota's a prime regression team. They're still talented. Obviously, Kirk Cousins, we love to make jokes about him, but he's solid. Justin Jefferson's really good. So I don't know. I think it's a wide open division. I would make Detroit the favorites. Ask me this question after the NFL draft. That's when I want to get asked. From Arthur Smith, do you think we lost the trade with Claypool? Because people say that, but I think so. I think he's definitely going to step it up this year. Keep up the good work, bear down. First of all, type bear down for Arthur. Look, up to this point, Pittsburgh on paper has won the trade. They got the first pick in the second round for Claypool. That's great for them. But if Claypool comes out this year and has a great year, then it's a win-win. Pittsburgh gets a good draft pick, and the Bears get a good receiver that they're probably going to extend. So let's see how the year plays out. If he stinks this year, yeah, you lost the trade. It happens. Sucks. You took a gamble, tried to get Fields another weapon. Sometimes it doesn't work out. So let's see how this year plays out. But look, if Claypool has a great year, then I think it's a win-win for both parties. Can I get a bear down in the comments? Arthur brought it up. Shout out to him. He's a real one. Get the bear downs going, whether it's text or emojis. Let's keep up the good vibes. Latrell Fitzpatrick, Harrison, do you think the Bears will draft Christian Gonzalez over Paris Johnson Jr. at 9? I would be surprised by that. Polls would just have to have Gonzalez notably higher on his draft board. He would have to be like a top 5-6 prospect, and Johnson would have to be outside the top 10, I would think. Now, maybe Poles is still purely going to stick to his board. He might do that because this team has enough holes in it. But that would surprise me, but I wouldn't rule it out. Gonzalez is a freak athlete that is got good coverage skills, man. Shout out Jake, and that helmet's going to be coming your way soon, my friend. He says, what do you think about SMU wide receiver Rashee Rice with the second-round pick? I think he would be a perfect number 4 receiver. I don't disagree, Jake. The only thing I would say is, do you draft number 4 receivers in the second round? I think the answer is no. Had you not gotten DJ Moore, Rashee Rice in the second or third, I think could be intriguing, but I don't want to draft a backup in the second round. To me, the number 9 pick and your 3 picks at 53, 61, and 64, you should be striving to get starters. Now, they may not all start. They got to compete and earn that, but I think you're hoping to get 4 starters there, assuming you don't trade any of those picks. Appreciate all the questions from the real ones here on Bears Now. You can ask more questions if we didn't get to your question at HGramNFL on Twitter. It's also at HGramNFL on Instagram. Hit me up with more Bears questions over there if we were unable to answer them here.